Thank you so much. So basically, this is I work at the Department of Commerce, so it's a state agency, and what we try to do is really help companies, and we try to help people get jobs. So matching up, creating more jobs, anything that creates more jobs in the state. So this is a website that we have in addition to just our regular old website. It's really a data-driven website. It provides information, demographic, economic, and business data to help businesses make decisions, to help them with business planning, to help them with marketing, and to try to help them be able to create more jobs. So, there's a lot of non-employer businesses, so you may just have a business where you're, it's a job for yourself. So that's great too. So it's kind of a self-service site, but it's got a lot to it. So I'm just going to kind of run through a little bit of what it has so that you get a feel for if it might be helpful to you. And then if you're interested, you can just, my business cards are over here. You can pick up a card, call me if you want me to walk you through it, or if you have specific questions or specific data that you're looking for. And if you don't have it, I'll find it for you. And if we do have it, then I can help you get it through the site. In addition, on January 20th, we have a class here at the community college that you can sign up for that will walk you through on how to use it so that you can iteratively go in and find data that you need as you have different needs. And especially the business data, because you might need that over time as you're looking for clients or looking for, just specific needs that you might have. So, basically, ACCESSNC is this specific website to do this. It's very data-driven. It has different tools. It has different reports, and it allows you to get what you need. So that's why we had a separate one. This is what it looks like. I didn't want to actually walk you through the actual website because that would take longer than 6 minutes. But you'll know if you get there. The best way is just ncedis.com. That was the old name for it, was Economic Development Intelligence System. So North Carolina Economic Development Intelligence System. That's why it's that. Or you can just Google ACCESSNC and Commerce or anything like that, and it'll find it for you. We've had we developed it for our own use so that we were repeatedly doing the same reports for, the RTP area, and then Winston-Salem, and then Fayetteville, and just having the different data for the different geographies. So we found that for us, we just wanted these reports that would be automatically generated, that we wouldn't have to go and repeatedly do these. But we found that a lot of different people are using these. As people call in and we're seeing the web traffic of what people are using it for, down to like the 4th grade level where they have to do some county research and they do a PowerPoint on it. It's specifically our county profiles have the data that they were asked to go look for, so we have people that find that. We have researchers at community colleges and universities that are doing research and writing papers, and they have a need for it. We have local governments. Their CAFRA reports that go out every year, the data on their economy they get from us. We have small businesses, of course, doing business planning, client research. We have geographic planners. There's a mapping component, so they use that. Consultants and writing plans for areas, strategic planning, local economic development groups, local strategic planning. You have your different groups for local areas. So we have just all kinds of different people that use our data. And there's a variety of different data sources. There's 40 different sources and then 80 different data series. Like the census is one, and there's just 7 different surveys that we use just from census. And that's just 1 out of 40 sources. So it really aggregates a lot of resources. You don't have to know where to go look to find something. And it's all oriented to be what businesses want to know. So it's just some examples of different sources and also some of the topics that are covered. And then in addition to that, there's different geographies. So you all, if you're here locally, you might want, like Pam was talking about, she might want the Raleigh area for her brother-in-law and might want Fayetteville for here. She might want Wilmington for her daughter. So just kind of depending what you're looking for, you can choose different geographies. You might want a region. It might be a workforce group that's really looking for, I want to find businesses that I can work with that are interested in hiring people. So I want to work on them one-on-one to get them to hire somebody that might need a second chance. So we have different people that use that for those types of needs. We had prosperity zones that just came through recently with legislation. And then just different cities that go through, and they have different needs too for their own planning, strategic planning. And then just the state as a whole. We have researchers who look at comparing different states for, educational programs or that kind of thing. And then the last one, we go down to block group level. That's a census geographic area that has a group of people, 2,000 or less in an area. And you can have data by those different areas, and you can get a radius for a certain area. It's actually very helpful for small business because you can look at your location of wherever your business is and say, okay, how far are people going to drive or call or whatever. You may have people that are out of the state, but if you need to meet with them one-on-one, you have to consider like how far are they going to go and that kind of thing. You can get demographic, business data, competitor analysis, that kind of stuff. Business listings, if you do business to business. So we have different reports, different tools. There's 15 different ones. I just showed you kind of a smattering of different results you can get back or different reports, the different queries, just to kind of give you an idea. It does have a mapping report. It has a business listing, maps. Here's more businesses. Here's different demographic data. If you're going to hire people, it has wage and employment levels by occupation, by industry, largest employers in an area, and just some maps, graphs, those kinds of things. And here's my contact information, and as well as I have a business card over the side. And then also just I've got some handouts on just different guides of different tools and how quickly to use them, so you can go through that yourself if you want to. So feel free to pick up some materials. Feel free to sign up for the training if you're interested. There's an awful lot to it. If you think about just what the census provides and how much data it is, who in their right mind wants to go spend time looking through thousands of tables? So I've already done that. I've done what, I've worked at Department of Commerce for 15 years, and I've gone through what a small business asks for, what a large business is asked for, what do you need for business planning generically, and so we've gone to get that data. And we also purchased about $250,000 worth of data that you would have to buy, but you could get on here for free. So do you have questions? Yes.
Hi. Good presentation. I've been on your site once or twice. My question is access to the raw data. So if I developed an algorithm that I want specific information, is there a way for me to launch it and extract the information?
We're trying to rewrite the website now, and we're going to have kind of like a researcher's corner where you can just get the data, because some people are just doing their own analysis,
right.
The consultants, those kinds of things. So we'll have that, but that's going to be like 6 months away. If you have a need now, you could just let me know. We do also have more specific data than what we have on here, which is helpful for business planning and those kinds of things. We have consumer expenditure data that's very detailed, but what we put on here is kind of the summary data. So that's something that you might need, or like I said, even census data. So just contact me, get a business card, or you can just write this down here. And contact me. Some of the things you can download when you do the report in the tool, you can download it to Excel, you can do that. One of those, like the county custom reports, it very quickly you can go pick, there's over 2,000 different data points that you can do, and you just download them. So all the tools where you can go and just get a report like that, and it's a custom report, you can download a lot of data. So that's available, but like I said, we do have, and some of the purchase data, we have ESRI data, that's more detailed. The census data, that's more detailed. I don't get everything, but I could go get more data too. Yes?
New to the business, I'm beginning my business. How can I use you? Because this is the first time I've heard about it, number one. Number two, I'm going to go into the area of firearms training. That's just general topic, okay? How can you help me? Or what, you say you have these numbers, and I'm sitting there going, I don't know what these numbers mean to me.
Yeah.
What can you do to help me understand what this is all telling me?
Yeah. I think, in developing your business plan and to see, demographic data, if you're a population that you're trying to serve, data about other businesses that do similar things. It's got like the sales that they have. You're going to have to figure out, kind of scale what you're doing and find out how am I going to make a profit? Everybody wants to be able to make a profit. So you want to know, okay, how about other businesses in the area? What do they do? That kind of thing. The other thing is, we have business listings, so it sounds like that almost might be another thing that you might do. You might look at other kinds of businesses that might need your services to provide the training. So you could look at that. We have business listings. Contact me, and I'll go through it, you know, one-on-one with you about different ideas of what you might do. But when you go through, I assume since you're connected here with the community college, you're probably taking a class on your business plan. Well, that's a good start, because they kind of help you walk through it, and they've already looked at hundreds of businesses, so they kind of know what somebody else has done before. What you might also do is, even the business list, is look for somebody that's doing a similar thing that's somewhere else in the state, so they're not serving the same group, and find out what they do, you know, and you know, work with them. There's different ways to find out not only data, but contacts, you know, filling out what you might need. So I would use that business listing, and I would use the custom county and the radius report. There's a custom radius report that goes around, like I said, the lot group, and so you can get data on businesses and demographics all at one time, just for figuring out, you know, how far away are people going to come for the training.
You said that you had customer expenditure data. That is not online, correct? I have to go to you for that?
No, just about everything's
Oh.
online. And, you know, there's a couple of things that we paid for that only commerce people can get to. On the business listing, there's some detailed stuff, like we're not allowed to give out their email address. So commerce has that, but, you know, it's not all filled out anyway. But every single one of them has like a phone number.
Yeah.
So especially for a small business, even if you're doing a mail-in, you know, you can narrow it down and get your business list, download it, do your mailing, or just make calls.
So how does that data look? Is it broken up into, let's say that I'm very interested in, okay, one of the things that I am working on a business plan for is cell phone charging stations in the Fayetteville area. Obviously, I want to know how many people in my area have purchased cell phones with a certain size battery. Do you have that kind of information?
Not that detailed, but we do get information about, you know,
Okay,
cell
but close
phone
enough?
use and stuff.
Okay. All right, I'll take a look.
Yeah, it does have, like, you know, expenditures on cell phones, that kind of stuff. It doesn't have towers or any of that kind of stuff, but you could look at companies that do have towers.
Okay.
You know, contact them, see if there's any synergy, work with them. You kind of have to figure out, you know, how to use the data. So, but, you know, feel free to call me, because that's what I do all the time, is I have people that, you know, everybody that's self-serve, well, they go get their own data, but people's like, do you happen to have this? Do you happen to have that? You know, so call me for that kind of information.
Tammy, you touched on the reason why I developed the algorithms, is extrapolate the stuff and then present it in a chunkable or bite-sized stuff. You develop spreadsheets, but a lot of people look at spreadsheets and they kind of
Yeah.
go cross-eyed after a while.
Yeah.
So it's how you represent the data that tells the story.
Yeah, because data can be misleading, so I think that's good. You know, and putting the data together, sometimes there's different sources you can use for one type of data.
Yeah.
And of course, you can't get data on everything. Like, unless somebody has a need, and a need to make it public. Like, you may have cell phone providers that have that data, but they're not gonna make it public. You have to have some survey or some need or some government need to have it out there. So what I've done is to try to find the best data for what it is for business use.
Right.
So that's why it's on there. Anyway, this is what it is. I was just gonna, I don't know if I have any other time or not. If there are questions, you all had asked about different things. Just gonna show you this business list. If you click on the business data, business search is the first thing. Except for, I don't know why, there it is. I'm gonna turn it in a second. So if you want to do North Carolina and just by industry, do this, or by company name, do this. But other, like I could do a performer. Let's see if anything shows up here. Okay, so you get everything, but there's, you know, all kinds of performance, just get some data here about each company. And you can click on detail if there's a certain one that you're interested in. And it gives you, you know, the phone number and that sort of thing. So if you were sitting here, you could do this, you know, at your computer if you wanted, to just sit there and call them, or you could download it. You go to the bottom, You can download, this. This is one of the ones that we pay for, so they make us do this, but it should be pretty simple. They make us put this, you know, how much you can download, and then it just downloads to Excel, and you can get all that data. It seems a bit little slow. But anyway, I don't even know if Excel's downloaded on this machine or not, but
It should be.
anyway, let me just go back. I don't know why it's taking so long, but it should just download. You can also sort these if you want, company size or annual sales. So you get an idea of exactly how much they have. And you can look for that. And like I said, you can look by, if you go back, you can also, instead of just doing the North Carolina, you can do an advanced search for, you know, do Fayetteville, you can do counties and just do Cumberland.
Tammy, how up to date is this list?
Everything is, I can get you, well, let me show you. If you go to resources on the homepage or anywhere here, it says data sources guide. And on this, it talks about by topic, everything. So for business data, here's all the data. Some of it is government data, it's more out of date. This is the data, if you want to get more data, if it's publicly available and I just go to somebody's website and get it, you can go get it too. There's a link to go get it. Okay. So you can get that, you know, valued housing, income, poverty, labor, population, all of these different data, you can get that. And some data is only updated, you know, like decennial census every 10 years. Some data is annual, some of it's quarterly, some of it's monthly. Like this buildings and sites, we actually also have like, kind of like the MLS is for housing. We have for commercial and industrial sites around the state. Local economic developers use it, and this is just this is our own database. So I just go and every first of the month, I just run, you know, a program to grab up how many buildings are each county, and I put that information out there. But there's also a database on this. So like this is actually live on the system. So it's everything from completely live to, say, every 10 years. And a lot of the stuff is quarterly. Very little is actually monthly. But I do rerun the data for stuff monthly. I haven't done it yet for December, but it's monthly. So if you come here, this kind of tells you, okay, currently, what is it? You know. So, anything else? Oh, I was going to show you, we still have time, Cumberland, and then, so you choose whatever you want, and if you want a state, you want multiple regions, multiple counties, and you can just keep adding if you want. Gosh, it's slow. Does it seem slow to you? Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so I don't know, I'm just adding a couple. Oh, that's faster all of a sudden. Okay, just anyway, so I just added some. So then you can look by industry or by occupation. If you really want all businesses in an industry by an area, there's a trick. You can go, and I can show you this if you call me. We got this under a federal grant, so they made us do this, but there's a trick, because obviously if you're gonna pick all companies in an area, they want us to restrict it because they don't want to give out their product, which is all these business listings. But if we do it by occupation, okay, come on, every company has management, right? So just choose chief executives and then go here and you can choose whatever industries you want. So like, so if you want all manufacturing, you can do that first one, and then go down to, you know, you can pick and choose, there's tons of them, but just say you pick and choose. And then shift and do the last one, it'll do all of those. So I could have done the whole list if I wanted, and then just hit submit, and I get all of them. And so that's just kind of a trick. And if I only wanted the, let's say the largest ones, you know, I can sort by that. And then I can just go to the ones that do it, or I can download. So you can get business listings, and I think that's one of the things that you probably use the most, especially if you're business to business. Or if you're looking for competitors in an area, you might look for competitors. And like I said, you could look for competitors that you're not actually competing with. Like if you were working with, say, maybe only former military or former whatever, you know, let's say they're transitioning, job transitioning, you wanna do this. That's another thing is, brainstorming about, okay, who else might be helping me find these people that need training? How can I look for people who are training? What can I do? You might wanna work with our workforce people because they're always looking, to place people that need something extra, so they need training. And they also have federal grants, which you might get paid from to do the training. So there's things like that you can look for as well. Any other questions?
So what can we do to help you?
Let me know if there's other things that you would like on here. I mean, I think mostly when people call, I get a better idea of, what are you using it for? For business plans, there's also, there's a couple other things you can look at. Here's my original. Call me and see how I can help you, because if you have a certain question, other people have similar questions, even if it's a different industry. And that way we kind of know, because we pick and choose the data. If it's not on there and people really want it, we'll add it. Like veterans data, we actually had a lot of people ask for veterans data, so there's veterans data now on here as well. I was just going to show you this other little thing. You do the address search here. Forgot what the address is here, so just put something in. Okay, that sounds good. You can do these other reports, but there's this custom radius report that you can only get from the map, because you think about it. You're putting a pin and you're looking for a radius around it. You just use that. Road distance around it, I don't know, you might want to choose whatever you think is reasonable. You get a demographics report. So this is cool. So now you can get this, and not only can you get your report, shut it down. Anyway, I wanted to show you this snipping tool that you can get here too. Have you all used this before?
Mm-hmm.
Has anybody not seen it? Okay, when you're doing a business plan, if you go to the snipping tool, anything you find on the internet, you can get a nice little picture of it by just going like this. So if you need to show, oh, this is my market area, and you need to put it in your business plan, you can do that, and all you do is copy and paste it in your thing. So I was just going to show you that. So I'm not going to save it though.
I would just use my phone first.
Do I have pop-ups? The other thing on this website is you need to make sure you have your pop-ups enabled. So not only does it draw okay. Allowance. This should be a report. So you have to make sure your pop-up's enabled. Well, I guess this will make it memorable. You see several times, you remember what I clicked on. Okay, so now it's going to give you one of the tabs is going to be this custom radius. And with pop-ups, sometimes it's hidden, so you have to go back, see what you've got. And then each one of these opens up, and this works the same on everywhere on the website, and you can pick and choose just what you want. Commercial, here's consumer expenditures that we talked about, average household or total, and you get all these areas. We've got 200 or so different data points just for food or food at home or that kind of thing. So these are a summary, like I said again, but you can get detailed information on housing, employment, education. You might want education, educational attainment, enrollment, what kind of, anyway, you can get all kinds of data here. You might find out that you're serving a specific age group, or, for firearms, it has to be, you have to be at least a certain age or something. Maybe you're looking for a certain gender. So just go and pick and choose what you want. Veterans, how many veterans are in the area, a gender and age, war of service. Anyway, you just pick whatever data that you want.
Tammy, can you determine if the business is owned by a veteran or a woman?
Yeah, but not on this one.
Right.
That's the thing, some data is not available in certain geographies, so this I don't have a pinpoint, I just have it by county.
Okay.
So if you go to county custom, you can get that.
Okay.
And also, I do have a list, because all I do is the summary stuff, but obviously I had to download. So I downloaded people who have they're registered their business to work with the federal government. So I've got a list of those North Carolina companies,
Right.
and I could give you that.
Okay. Do other states do this?
They do, but it's just different.
Yeah.
You know, everybody does it differently. So this is like when I said you can download it. I just did it to HTML, but you can download it to Excel, whatever data you want. And then, like you said, you want to tell your own story, you've got to kind of revise it, but at least you can dump your data how you want it. Any other questions?
I'm in the solar business. So if I come to you and tell you that I need to know how many people have solar system installed in your house in North Carolina, is there something data that you can give me?
Yeah, the American Community Survey has that. They have it under building characteristics on whether it's solar. I can't tell you who they are, but they have it, you know, by residence. It's the American Community Survey is a monthly survey across the United States. And they survey it every month, right? You know, a set group of people. And then they're making, now you can do it online. There's a very high return rate. People, about 97% of people do turn in, because they keep bugging you about it. And they say it's mandatory, so you know, end up doing it. And then they ask, so they just do it by geography, so it's by the resident. It's just sent to residents. They don't care who you are. If you move, you might do it twice. And then what they do is they take that survey data, and over a period of time, they look at it, and they estimate for each area, what's likely to be the true number for everybody, you know, because they just took a sample. So it's an estimate, but they give you an idea of how many people in a certain area.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tammy.
Thank you. Thanks for the opportunity.